Hello again, everyone. Deflect here, Fair but Fair Gaming. Wanted to bring you a video on the Lethality agent, the Operative. This is going to be the dot op, and they are very good. They're fun to play. You just watch your dots. It's a little more exciting than the concealment one, where concealment is mainly just knifing people in the back. This one you can do a lot of your moves while moving, and you don't have to be necessarily behind them. So I'll go through the build. I'll go through kind of a idea of what you're trying to accomplish and a rotation that might work for you. This is not the end-all to be-all rotation, but it is a rotation nonetheless. So you'll have to watch your dots. That's the main thing. It's a dot damage spec. So I will get into, first of all, the combat proficiencies. Now again, this is what I'm running. You can feel free to mix and match these, but this is what I run on my Lethality. Nanotech suit, chem-resistant inlays, Imperial weaponry. I use advanced cloaking, med shield, fortified koto, evasive imperative, escape plan, and circumvention. Feel free to mix and match what you like. They're not really set in stone, but those are the ones I feel are best for what I do, and that's what I like to run. So, getting into the gear will be the Tactician set because it gets you the tactical advantage. It is still an amazing set. Now you'll notice I have Armor Pen on it. I was messing around trying to see if Armor Pen would overtake periodical intensity. It does not. It does not. Just so you're aware, periodical intensity will be your go-to amplifier. So you'll want to run the Tactician set with periodical intensity. Now, as always, you're a DPS. Your alacrity should be 1213. Your accuracy, 1590 or 1589 if you really want to push the numbers, but 1590 to be safe. And if you've seen some of my other DPS ones, there is a great argument over which number is best. But if you're 1590, you are safe. Dump the rest into crit, and you will do all right. Now, for the tacticals, there are two choices. One will be AoE, and one will be kind of more your single target, I guess. I was messing around with Acid Lash because I was trying to just have some fun with it. It doesn't do much here. It's not a great tactical, so don't mind that. Your AoE tactical will be Viral Elements. Toxic Haze spreads Toxic Blast effect. Lethal Strike does additional damage to all nearby targets affected by Toxic Haze. So it's this is the ability which will spread a bunch. Very great for AoE. Your single target one, Synox Shot, will be your single target one. It'll be Toxic Blast, does 75% more damage. Whenever Toxic Blast critically hits, it restores 2 energy. Great, great tactical to run. If you could only get one to start, I suggest Synox Shot. I would just start with that. But if you can get both, I usually like to have both. So those are your tacticals. That's the numbers. Remember the one piece of Amplified Champion. Don't forget that. That's a must with all your 6-piece sets. Now, going into what you need to know as a Lethality Operative. You will need to know you have 2 major dots. The 2 dots are Corrosive Grenade. Looks a lot like this. You will see it come up. Periodic internal damage. It also adds the damage taken from elements and internal attacks increased. Great dot. Your other dot, Corrosive Dart. Fires a dart at the target, dealing internal damage for 24 seconds. Periodical damage. Those are your 2 dots. Those are the 2 you want to keep up as much as you can. And those are going to be what does a lot of damage for you. Now, you have dot modifiers on here. Some will require tactical advantage. Toxic Blast grants tactical advantage. I believe Shiv also grants tactical advantage, and a Lethal Strike grants tactical advantage. Also, Stim Boost, you can use one every minute and a half. It grants tactical advantage right away. So, don't mind me, just returned from submissions, I guess. So you are going to notice that Lethal Strike, critical chance and critical multiplier for periodical effect increased. So that is a buff to you. That is your Lethal Strike, gives you a buff. Also, taking extra damage from poison effects, Toxic Blast. So, these are your 2 poison effects. This makes it stronger. Corrosive Assault. Execute your tactical advantage to fire a volley of corrosive shots, dealing weapon damage, causing your periodical poison effects on the target to also deal damage. So, with these 2 on the target, this will also do more damage. That is your main idea. This is for single target. You can use Toxic Haze a little more for the AoE with that tactical. But you're going to look at a Corrosive Grenade, your Corrosive Dart. You know, if you get up there, you got to be close enough to shiv them. Toxic Blast and Lethal Strike. You should be able to fire off 3 Corrosive Assaults. And you will see just the damage flying. That is kind of an idea of rotation. Now, remember, rotations are not set in stone because there's a lot of things that happen in a fight. But that one will have your buff for the critical strike and everything up while you attack with 3 Corrosive Assaults. So, just an idea again. Corrosive Grenade, Corrosive Dart, Shiv, Toxic Blast, Lethal Strike, Corrosive Assault, Corrosive Assault, Corrosive Assault. And you'll notice it finishes just before your buff wears off. Just an idea that way, and that way you can mess around with it. But remember, you will need tactical advantage for these 2 abilities, Toxic Haze and Corrosive Assault. So, the 3 that give you tactical advantage, the 2 that use it. That's the way I set up my bar. I remember I took my key bindings off, so yeah, they're just off right now, and it's a little tougher to go down and hit them, but that's the way my bar looks, just so I can see them spread out and see what ones are up and down. That's how I like to have my bar set up for this lethal and lethality, and that's what I like to do. But go ahead, play around with it. Remember, keep your dots up. That's your major thing. You'll see the 2 dots here. Keep them up as much as possible on targets so you can do your damage. And that's your big damage output. Now, there's a couple other abilities I didn't go into. I have all the healing abilities down here. Your Traverse, you know, your Tactical Raid Superiority for your raid buff. These are all your stealth and get out of combats. And there are a lot of other abilities that aren't really necessary when you're playing lethality. You can throw a fragment grenade in once in a while if you like. It's not the worst thing, but the majority of your abilities is going to be the dotting and the spreading the dots. So, anyways, that's an idea of what should be done with lethality. Hopefully, you're out there and you can test it out and enjoy the class. It's a fun class to play. You definitely, I don't know, I think it's just fun spreading all the toxins and the poisons and stuff. I think it's a blast. It's a little different than concealment, so you don't have to stand stationary behind the target because you can move and do a lot of them while you're moving. I don't have my move even set up on here, so I can't strafe. But yeah, you can do a lot while moving, and it's not stationary like concealment. You would be parked pretty much back here, knifing them in the back. But yeah, if you have any comments, leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them for you. And like always, subscribe if you haven't done it. It greatly helps me out. Like, share, and we'll see you in the next video.